cycle again when liquidity was tight back in 2018. So we think we have further down to go.
We appreciate your time, your perspective on all of it, and we will be watching these markets. Thanks.
All right, check out the show from Mike on low on warning. It said the market outlook for 2023 has weakened. We wanted to bring you that. Target is obviously something to behold. And if you recall, it was like the last quarter the stock was up near 200, fell to about 150.
Hey there.
Rebounded all the way up to almost.
Bear with me.
And now this is happening.
Just got home from my dog walk. My walk with Holly, my beautiful little English Springer Spaniel. I noticed there were piles of leaf crumbs on my floor. I don't like piles of leaf crumbs. I prefer a reasonably clean home. And it was beneath my standards. Thank you so much for watching. Maybe in some way this will inspire you to clean your home today. Hey, thank you for following, whoever just followed. Hang with me. My name is Ken Tracy. Thank you so much for joining this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in, caring enough. I'm wearing sweatpants and the ties aren't tied and they're falling down a little bit, and that's not a good look. Yeah, my name is Ken Tracy, and I'm coming at you from if sweeping your floors is enjoying your retirement. I guess that's what I'm doing, although I'm not got a few clumps of fur on the floor and a leaf. But anyway, again, my name's Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. This is a little show I've been doing for a long, long time on various social media platforms, in various formats. Look at that. Look at what I missed. Various formats. And it's a show I have a lot of fun with. Started a few years ago. And I was going through a hard time in life and was struggling and was feeling... Oh, I got my coffee ready. I hope you do as well. Thank you all for joining. I was going through a hard time and realized talking about my stuff made me feel a little better. Started doing it live. Here I am 3.5 years later. Now I do it live every morning at 8. At least my dog Holly's whining. I'm going to let her out. She wants to go out. We just got back from a walk. Got a little snow coming down. It's not really pretty, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of festive. Kind of feels good to have the snow trickling down. I appreciate you for following the host, Aaron's mama. Honey, I'm Aaron's dad. I got a daughter named Aaron. It's not that funny. But anyway, here I am. And again, I've been doing this live at 8 o'clock every morning for the last almost 2 weeks. Excuse me. I just ate some Cinnamon Life. Wanted to see if there's any in my teeth. And hopefully not. I enjoy it. It's about me sharing a little bit of life, sharing a little random thoughts and random ideas and random stuff. Good morning, Dennis. Thank you for joining. But as you know, it's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And I still have this much from a pot of coffee I brewed a couple hours ago. And I just got back from a walk with my dog. And as you saw, for those that tuned in right at 8 o'clock in the morning, I was doing a little sweeping of my floor. So I'm looking forward to having a little bit of coffee. I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh, let's go in the living room and talk for a little while. I don't know what I have for you today. I guess I say that every day. Kind of removes the pressure. I'm watching CNBC. If somebody can remind me to talk about the markets, I might want to talk a little bit about the markets today. I was a stockbroker. I graduated in 1990 from college. I went to the University of Illinois, graduated in finance. It's kind of funny. And it has something to do, I don't know if you guys will be bored if I say this. I don't know if you'll be bored if I say this. I was in some fairly advanced finance class. Excuse me, I got to pull up my sweats. And I I don't know, it's Fin 3 something or other. And I've always understood the value of leverage and the power that leverage can have. I need help cleaning my garage. Dennis, no. I got to clean. Again, there's little chunks of leaves. But what we've, and I don't want to talk about the stock market because it might bore some of you, but I got some strong thoughts. I got back from my dog walk about 20 minutes ago. I popped on CNBC because I'm kind of interested. I don't know. I was, again, a stockbroker for a long, long time. Hey, Only Bangers, thank you so much for joining and sharing the live. I appreciate you. I like your videos, by the way. I guess if I don't want you to be offended if I call you kind of eccentric. I think I'm kind of eccentric as well. For anyone that wants a totally kind of interesting thing, follow my man onlybangers.life. He's got an interesting show. He's hanging out in the Caribbean, doing a little music production, and a little inspiration kind of rolled into one. Rub peanut butter on my chest and giggle. No, I don't think so. But anyway, I got back from my dog walk, and I turned on CNBC because I kind of enjoy it. And I'm interested in the markets. And I'm kind of always, when I was a little kid, I'm talking like 7 years old. I had two older brothers, Steve and Scott, 4 and 5 years older. And I was probably 7, and I would hoard my allowance. Or I would sell random things. I don't know, I'd make a bird feeder or something out of popsicle sticks and see if my grandma would buy it from me. She did. Anyway, so I'd hoard up a few dollars. And my brothers would need to borrow money to go out and do something. And I'd lend them it out. And I would charge them interest. It was like a loan shark. Although they both could have kicked my butt, I didn't have any muscle to back me up. I would lend them money and charge interest and get a return on my money. And I've always kind of been interested in finance. You know, you almost have to do nothing and you get paid for it. It seems like a good gig. But anyway, speaking of doing nothing, I was watching this expert. She was a woman that came out. I forget which company she represented. And I cannot tell you. Thank you very much. No, I'm not selling or pouring coffee. I'm actually working with UPS. I'm going to be a driver helper. I guess they get a jillion packages in, and they're hired all over. But they get a jillion packages in, and they need help delivering the packages. And, the pay's okay. They're hiring right away. It seemed like a good company to work for. And again, I think I'm going to be able to get nearly full-time hours for the next 6 weeks or so. And it's going to be hard work. I'm, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm a realtor by trade. And I got to keep back to the subject about the markets. Realtor by trade, doing it 17 years. This is the slowest market I've ever seen. And again, I'm in Naperville, which is in the Midwest. Yeah, they do. And I'm going to feel productive. You know, it's hard as a realtor. Sometimes it's slow. And sometimes people aren't moving. And you're supposed to keep your wheels moving and keep moving forward. And it's just hard feeling productive. I've talked about it a lot. I like mowing the lawn. You know, I go out, I work for 45 minutes, and my yard looks great. You know, I like being productive, and sometimes my biggest challenge with real estate is there are some slow times. And I'm going to feel good. I'm going to go in. I'm going to do work. I'm going to exert energy, and I'm going to get paid for it. It seems like a fair trade, you know. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. And I think I'm starting tomorrow, by the way. Anyway, back to the markets. There was a woman on, and she was talking. I cannot emphasize enough how little the experts know about which way the stock market is going. I promise you that. If you were listening to an expert on TV tell you which ways, what to buy, what stock's going on, what you should be investing in, you're making a mistake. You are making a mistake. These guys have no clue. As a matter of fact, they worse than almost have no clue. I would almost say you bet against them generally, and you're going to be more successful. These talking heads, and I was a stockbroker for 10 years. I have a finance degree. I think at one point I may have wanted to be a talking head. Thank you, Eduardo. I think I may have wanted to be a talking head because I can say a bunch of long, fancy words and talk about discretionary and just random crap that they say. and they sound smart, and they tell you where they're allocating their resources. But if you allocated your money with them, you'd lose. You'd lose. If you want to make money, I think, first of all, trading's not a good idea. I think we should dollar cost average, like put in, I don't know, X number of dollars every month in dollar cost average. And again, I hope this isn't boring you that don't care about finance, but I'm kind of fired up. I'm going to talk about crypto here shortly. But anyway, yeah, I think you should put in an X amount of dollars every month into some well-diversified mutual fund and let it sit. And if before you do that, you should open up an IRA and put some money in every month because you get to write off taxes. And when you're old and gray, you'll have a retirement fund. That's what my thought. No, that's good. It's especially good. But anyway, these talking heads come out, and there was a guy, and rest his soul, his name Joe Battipaglia. When I first got started in 1990, he was a huge man. As a man, he was probably like 6'6", 320 pounds, just looked like an offensive lineman. Large man, really intelligent sounding, really nice guy, as a matter of fact. But he got kind of famous in the 90s because he was good. He was a talking head, and he could talk about GM's industrial production and blah, 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 blah. And all that blahs didn't add up to 2 pennies worth of advice. You know, he'd sound intelligent, and he'd spew a lot of intelligent, long-sounding words, but there wouldn't be one investable nugget out of that whole spew he says. And they're still doing it here 30, 40 years later. We're still getting scammed by these experts. It's ridiculous if anybody believes them. I'm going to talk about crypto. What's that guy's name? Sam Bankman-Fried. Apparently it was worth $16 billion a couple weeks ago. $16 billion! He was the number 2 contributor to Joe Biden. Not trying to be political, but he was. And he was brought out in front of Congress, put up in front of the TV, would come out, hey, crypto, hey. Oh my God. I thought everyone knew it was a scam. I thought we all knew it was a scam. You didn't know? I thought that was the idea, that it was a scam. It's called the greater fool theory. The greater fool theory means you can buy it at any price. And as long as you find a bigger idiot than you to buy it, you're going to do fine. And I'm not trying to be mean, but I can't believe it. It was at Bitcoin was at 66,000 last year. My dog's whining. I'm fired up. I'm going to go get her, but I'm going to keep talking. It was at 66,000. My brother started buying it because I told him it was stupid. You know, it's so ridiculous, and it went from 0. I thought it was. I think there was a token issued. Sorry to offend anybody, but it's got me fired up. I think there was a token issued by Chuck E. Cheese that had some value. And I saw a video by Sam Bankman-Fried talking about his strategy about having a box and making up and acting like it's a bank and seeing if you can get some people to put money in this box. And he could. He said, say the box is worth $20 million. No reason it'd be worth $20 million, but in this foolish market, you can say anything's worth $20 million. So his box was worth $20 million, and he'd get people to put $20 million in it. And average Joe investor go, holy smokes, this went from 0 to 20 million really quickly. I better get in on this. And it was amazing. It was amazing. I tell you what, I don't care what Bitcoin's at. I don't care about the mining and the value and the currency. You're going to wake up one day and it's going to be at 0. And I've been saying this for 5 years. It's a scam. It's a scam. Get out while you can. I'm probably going to lose tons of followers for this. It just seems so ridiculous. It was such an example. And I know. I profited and lost on the greater fool theory. In 1999, I had enough of being a stockbroker. And I had a SL500 Mercedes. And it was a fancy car. was a really nice looking car, convertible 2-seater, stupid car, not functional at all. And I sold it because I didn't want to be a stockbroker anymore, and the market seemed to be going up, and I'm going to have a little more coffee. I sold it, paid off whatever I owed on it. I think I had a little owed on it, and I had like 30 grand left at the time. I put it in the market in like August of 1999. By like September 1st, I turned that $30,000 into $14,000. So I was losing my money. Can I keep talking about this? I'm going to keep talking about it. It's kind of important to me today. By January 1st, I turned that $14,000 for one day into $1 million. I kid you not. $1 million. $1 million. And I wasn't smart. I saw something going straight up. I saw a pattern happening, and I used the greater fool theory. There were all these new companies come. For one day, I became a millionaire. I was a millionaire one day. I kid you not. Total honest God's truth. It was like, I don't know, end of November or early December, and I told my buddy, hey, I'll buy you a Porsche Boxster if my account hits $1 million by the end of the year. And I put all my money in some IPO that doesn't even exist anymore named Befre. BFRE was the top stock symbol. And it was some stupid IPO about some silly little, I don't know, internet stock, because that was the thing. You could, as long as you came out with a pet.com or a couch.com or a tree.com, you would get valued by Wall Street for, millions, sometimes billions of dollars. It was so silly. And it's kind of fun talking about this because it's true. But anyway, it was end of November, and my account might have been worth, I don't know, $400,000. And I'm telling you, it went from 14 grand to 400,000 by end of November, early December. And I told my buddy, Kevin, that I'll buy him a Porsche Boxster if I get it to $1 million, which seems fairly ambitious, turning 400 into $1 million in a month. But that's how silly the market was at the time. And within 2 weeks, I hit $1 million. One day, only one day. I bought this stock. It was an IPO. It was silly. It was called Befre. I don't have any idea what they did or what they're gone now. And when a stock hit a new high at that time, it exploded higher, just using the greater fool theory, because everybody's up on it, so nobody wants to sell it. We're all winning. We're all winners. It's a party when everybody's winning. And the stock went from, and again, I forget the numbers here, but again, my account did hit $1 million one day. And, it hit a new high at 30, and it was like 250 within a week. And I had 30,000 shares or whatever, and I bought it on margin, which means you're borrowing half the money. And that's what's happening, right? That's what's been happening for the last couple of years. I wasn't smart. I saw a pattern and I took advantage of it. But that company's out of business and I don't have $1 million anymore. But one day I did. I think I'd still have the money. I never bought my buddy his Porsche Boxster. That was God punishing me, slapping me around, telling me should have bought him the Boxster. But the stock went down the next day. And the problem with having a huge positive year, because the market started changing at the end of that year, 99. And it's so interesting. Thank you, Ava. It's so interesting. I hope you guys enjoy this or follow my page. I talk about random things, and I'm sorry to talk about the market so much today. A lot of times I'll talk about, drinking or not drinking or depression or anxiety. But I like to talk. I don't try and niche. Because, again, I got too much stuff I want to talk about. So my niche is me. So I might not be talking about the markets tomorrow. I might be just talking about coffee or candles. I forgot to light my candle today. I'll light it right now while we're talking. How long have I talked? I usually go for about half an hour. Anyway, where was I? The markets changed. And suddenly things stopped working like it wasn't a magical market anymore. and you'd buy these hot IPOs and they'd start going down. And I could feel it, and it started happening, and my $1 million account became, I don't know, 400,000 or so, or 500,000 by the following March. And for those that are accountants out there, yeah, I'm not sure I like those, Philly. I had one or two. I'm not sure. They make almost too much noise for me. Somebody asked about a woodwick candle, how they crackle like a fireplace. I'm not totally sure. My account was down to about 400,000 by March. If there's any CPAs out there, you might be able to see the problem. I had incurred all these huge capital gains in 1999, and I had to pay taxes on those. Yet the value of my account was no longer $1 million; it was now 400 grand, and I had no idea how much capital gains I'd had. This might be the most boring coffee with Ken ever for those that don't care about finance. And what was I going to say? Oh, I was terrified that I might owe like 700 grand in capital gains. Again, I had no idea. And my account was only worth 400,000. It turned out after I did my taxes, I think I owed $169,000 in taxes. And I'll just tell you, because what the heck, why not? I had my money in some internet, I don't know, might have been TD Ameritrade or one of those companies, but I don't know if it still exists anymore. One of those type of companies, real low commissions. And the max I could write a check out of that account was for $25,000. So I had to write 6 checks for $25,000. And I don't think money's cool, but it's just kind of funny. I had to write 6 checks for $25,000 to the federal government, and then 1 check for, I don't know, another 19 to add up to, I think, 169 or 164 or something like that I owed in taxes that year. So what's my point? My point is it's easy when everyone's winning to make a ton of money in the market. And it's easy when the market's going straight up to be a trader. How many traders were here on TikTok that were Bitcoin traders? How many people were talking about Bitcoin at parties and becoming Bitcoin experts and knowing all about the mining process and the transactions and how they're going to save the world? It's so easy when things are going straight up to be a trader. I did it. And I'm not saying they're dumb. I did it. I know how it works. But it's a scam. And the markets, just watching this woman talk this morning got me all fired up. Because I was blah, 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 blah. But all the blahs were very smart-sounding words. Do you have any investments now? I put money every month into a mutual fund. I put money monthly into a mutual fund. I think that's the way to do it. And again, American funds, if you care. Again, I've had an interesting life. I've had a lot of highs and lows. Certainly don't have any great money right now. I'm working a seasonal job starting tomorrow at UPS. I need the money, but more importantly than that, not more importantly, about equally importantly, though, I just need to be busy, to feel productive, to feel like I'm doing something that matters. And if there's a company out there that's really busy right now, and these delivery companies, UPS is very busy right now, and they got, drivers with more work they can handle, and they're willing to pay me a decent hourly wage on a full-time-ish basis for 6 weeks. Seemed like a great opportunity for me to do. So, I don't know. What else do I have for you? Those are my thoughts on the market. But it's just so funny because I watch it all the time, and I'm just shocked. I'm shocked. Kevin O'Leary. Do you know who he is? Shark Tank. Hello, Keith. Okay, I'm still fired up. Can I keep talking? Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. Oh, Mr. Wonderful. The only thing I like about him is he's bald. He's kind of a jerk. Sorry for those that love him. What's your favorite thing about Thanksgiving? So many things. It's like Christmas without any pressure for the gifts. It's quiet. The weather's perfect. There's football on. You get together with families and friends. And last Thanksgiving was my first sober Thanksgiving ever. So this will be my second. And honestly, I don't even know who I'm going to spend it with. It's possible I might just hang out with my dog Holly and watch a bunch of movies. Maybe get a little chicken, cook up a chicken and some mashed potatoes and some green beans. And don't feel sorry for me. If that's what happens, that's the way I wanted it to be. It's either stuffing, favorite Thanksgiving food, either stuffing, especially when it's cooked inside the bird. It's so good with sausage, little chunks in it. Oh. Especially if the cook knows how to make some gravy. Or it's pumpkin pie with a bunch of whipped cream. But I'm a good eater. I did a video last night. What I've been doing, and I talk about it before, is I do these videos every morning at 8 o'clock. And they give me so much content to chop up and dice up and repost as videos. Oh my gosh, Shannon, it's so good. Do you cook it inside the bird? I don't know if they say that's healthy, but when I was a kid, nobody died of bad stuffing, at least nobody I knew. But anyway, so I post mini takes from these live shows. Oh, it's so good, Shannon. I might fly. If I don't have anything going, I wonder how far it is to drive down to Mississippi. Probably cheaper to fly. You can cook me up some stuffing. I'll bring the pumpkin pie. I'll stop at Cracker Barrel on the way. They probably sell good pumpkin pies. And I repost them. And a few days ago, I did a video on how do you get people to like you. And I thought it was a really good to see you in here, your daily thoughts. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you, Matt. Thank you. Best stuffing is White Castle. Do they sell it? No snow down here. Well, we're just, it'll probably be gone. We usually don't have snow up here at this time either, but we have a little dusting right now, and it was kind of trickling down. So I don't consider snow a requirement. My first wife, she had a family up in the UP, right on Lake Superior in Houghton, Michigan, if anyone knows where that is. Real kind of neat place. It's almost like you're going to the North Pole. And I spent a Thanksgiving there, and there was snow, and it was cool. So I'm going to drink a little more coffee. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today. It's Wednesday morning. Again, I think I'm back to, you make it out of the slider so easy. So, that's interesting. That is interesting, Titan. I appreciate that. That's interesting. But, I really enjoy doing these videos. This is my 1-year anniversary here on TikTok. Again, I used to be on a large other social media blue platform, and I would go live once a week every Saturday, and I would talk about stuff. And this was at a very volatile time for me. I was just separated from my wife, and I just had stopped drinking, and I was feeling stressed, anxious, depressed. And I did a long video. I was doing them. You go back on a red social media platform, and you can find them from last November. I think they're really good. I did some, I was talking about it, and I had a friend watch in the video with his daughter and his wife, and his daughter, who's obviously younger and hipper and cooler, said, "Wow, this stuff should be on TikTok." So my buddy reached out and said that. I go, I don't know. TikTok seems stupid. It's where my daughters dance and lip sync. Hi, Mountain Lover. Good morning to you. And I always thought it was kind of silly. So I wasn't in a hurry, but his daughter went back and spliced and edited some of my live videos and made a couple videos, and I kept waiting for her to send me more because I kept cranking out content going, I don't know what to do with all this. I don't know what to do. How do I edit it? What's TikTok? How do I do it? And anyway, so my very first 2 videos, I think, were her splicing a couple scenes out of a video I'd done on another social media platform. And that was a year ago today. And I don't know, I'm creeping up. And again, I'm not an overnight success at anything. But I'm pretty darn consistent and determined. And if I find something I enjoy, I tend to stick with it. I think we should do things we enjoy. I was talking to a buddy who'd stopped working out. He had like a streak of like 1,100 straight days of filling his rings on his Apple Watch. And he broke it I don't know, a week or so ago, and he's deciding what exercise he wants to get into. Thank you so much for following the host. I think it's important you do what you enjoy, what makes you feel good in all sorts of aspects of life, because if you don't, you're not going to do it for very long. When it comes to working out, if you hate running on a treadmill or lifting weights or whatever, don't run on a treadmill and don't lift weights. Thank you, Keith. Because you're not going to keep it up. And nothing works if you don't keep it up. For me right now, again, I'm 54 years old. I used to run cross country and track. I've run, maybe 10 marathons in my life. And, but I got bad knees and kind of aches and pains. So for me, I'm kind of slowed down, but appreciate the moment a little more. And I do a lot of walking with my beautiful dog, Holly. That's interesting, Keith. I don't know, maybe. Might order fried chicken from KFC. But, yeah, I enjoy long walks with my dog, Holly. I enjoy doing yoga every day. So I think it's important you do what you like, do what you love. Hey, thank you. Shannon, thank you so much for all that you do and all your love and support. I appreciate you. Because if you're not doing what you like, and I like doing this. I like talking with you guys every morning. Did you know in cases? No, that's not a bad thing. I like both extra crispy and original recipe, by the way. Do they still do barbecue? I think there was a period about 40 years ago when they had barbecue chicken. I don't think it was very good. Anyway, I enjoy doing this. I enjoy coming to you guys live. I enjoy rewatching these lives. I enjoy finding nuggets of quality content. I give Holly a pup cup from Starbucks. Not Holly. It's funny you say that, Keith. No, a couple times I've done it with Holly, but with Augie gets pup cups from Starbucks all the time. Oh, Raising Cane's is pretty good. So anyway, I enjoy doing this. I enjoy TikTok. I enjoy producing these videos. I enjoy talking to you. And I would encourage you guys to do what you enjoy, do what you make feels good. Keith, I know you like sitting behind the wheel of a car and driving with your dog across the country. And that's probably why you're not going to cover off the ball doing what you're doing. Because if you don't enjoy it, what's the point? Anyway, I'm going to drink a little more coffee. I've been talking 31 minutes. Don't want to bore you. Got to leave you wanting more. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate the love and support. I hope you find value in my inane ramblings. I hope you either find them educational, inspirational, or entertaining. I hope you follow my page. You like my content. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you're excited about your Wednesday. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. I hope you believe in yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.